And we're recording there, so hello everyone, or anyone who's watching this. Welcome to the first episode of our new streaming show. It's called Canada's Movie and TV Hosers.
No, it's not.
I
don't agree with the name.
I'm your host, my name's Gregory Barrett, and this is my lovely wife, Christine.
Hi.
So, just to explain how this is going to work, we're going to try and do a few rules here. We're going to try and keep the swearing down, try and make it more family friendly.
These are the rules for me, obviously.
Okay. I'm just going to go through the outline of the show. So we're going to do a news segment where we talk about news from the past week. And then we're both going to do a review separately. And then we're going to do a combined review of something we watched together, which we haven't decided on what that will be yet.
We watched 2 shows.
And then we're going to do an ending. So, want to dive right into the news?
Go ahead.
So the first bit of news is that, Black Adam came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
And before it even came out, there was a lot of reveals about what was in it. Warner Brothers just started putting it in the marketing as of this week. So, do you know the reveal?
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but from it, he's not the ordinary kind of guy, and he's like an anti-hero.
Yep.
I get that from it. He takes no prisoners, and he seems to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's kind of a
what
bad
I
guy.
get from it, and that people are trying to stop him.
Yep. Do you want to know what the reveal
No,
is?
because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so by now everyone knows.
Here, I'll plug my ears, you could say.
It's Henry Cavill is in it. So, okay, you're good. You're good. So, everyone knows it by now, but I'm going to take Christine to see it next weekend. I saw it on Thursday on preview night, so she's just trying to hold off on spoilers until then. There are some projections for the new upcoming Black Panther 2 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that the projections are really high. They could be 160 to 220 opening weekend. Domestic. That's Canada, the
good,
U.S.
I'm guessing? That's
amazing. That could put it into the top 5 openings domestic of all time.
Well, there isn't much to see at the movies right now.
Yeah.
So,
and people are really looking forward to this movie.
And Black Adam was smart to come out ahead of time.
Yes.
They're kind of competing.
Yeah, Black Panther is Marvel, and Black Adam is DC.
Right, DC got the jump on it.
Yeah. So, did you see first Black Panther yet?
I don't know if I saw it. I can't remember it. Same with Aquaman. I think I've seen both of them. I think they're kind of silly.
You know what? I got a new 4K
I think
disc.
we'll have to watch it again.
I got a new 4K disc of Black Panther that's coming.
Okay.
So once I get it, we'll watch it.
I think if I did watch it, I was really tired at the time, so I don't really remember it. I didn't see it in theater for sure.
I saw it a couple of times in theater, but I know everyone says it's great, and it is a really good movie, but it's not one of my favorite MCU movies. It's not the worst either, but oh well, each to their own, right?
I don't like
Please
all
don't
the
come
MCU
at me.
movies. Gregory likes all of those movies. I don't like them as much.
Next bit of news. There's been a lot of rumors about people that could be in upcoming projects.
Okay.
So there's a rumor about John Krasinski. You know who that
I
is?
do know who that is, yes.
So he's in those Quiet Place movies.
Oh, yeah.
They're his
He's
movies.
from The Office.
So he was in Doctor Strange 2 last spring as Reed Richards. Yeah. There was a cameo role. Remember they had the Illuminati? So there was Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
Oh, yeah.
There was, Krasinski showed up as Reed Richards.
Okay, I don't know who Reed Richards is, because that's my problem.
That's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four.
Okay, Mr. Fantastic.
So, This is a fan pick. Fans have been screaming for this for years.
Okay.
So now there's rumors that he is actually going to be cast as Reed Richards in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie that's coming out in next year or 2024. I can't remember the date.
He's a really likable guy because he can be funny and he can do all this action stuff, and he's just really likable.
Yeah. So the fan casting for that movie is people want Krasinski as Reed Richards, and as his wife in the movie, they want cast his real life wife, Emily Blunt.
Oh, that's his real wife. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the fan casting. Who knows if that's going to happen? That's not up to us. There's just a lot of rumors going around. The other rumor is, you like Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's rumored to be in the upcoming Marvel Disney Plus show. Agatha, Coven of Darkness or something like that.
A Disney Plus show?
Yeah. So remember Agatha from WandaVision, the witch?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Catherine Hahn's character. They're bringing her back and she's getting her own show.
Okay.
So there's a rumor that Sacha Baron Cohen is going to show up in that.
He's not very PC.
Yeah.
For Disney.
Fair enough. He's going to show up. The rumor is he's going to show up in that show and play Mephisto. Now, I don't put any stock in this because everyone keeps predicting that Mephisto is going to show up in every Marvel project.
And he never shows up.
Who
is Mephisto? Do tell us.
So, Mephisto in the Marvel universe, in the comics, he's essentially the Marvel devil.
He's like a wizard?
He's the devil.
Oh. Okay.
He's like a godlike being. And
Okay.
so he's essentially the Marvel devil.
Okay.
They just don't have a Satan or the devil, they just have Mephisto.
Okay.
Who actually causes problems in the Marvel universe, and then some of the cosmic beings, like Silver Surfer, or maybe the Fantastic Four sometimes, or the Avengers have to deal with him.
Okay.
So he's like a bad god, but way more powerful than, say, Loki or Thor.
Oh, more powerful. Okay.
Okay? So, anyway, everyone keeps saying Mephisto is going to show up in every project since WandaVision, and it's just become a big joke at this point.
But if he was playing him, he'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't see how he could be much of the devil.
Okay. Warner Bros. Announced a bunch of movies.
Okay.
I think they're already working on a Flash 2, even though the first one still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
That one...
I haven't seen any of the Flash movies. I just think of the Flash as the Flash show.
Yeah.
I find it hard to think there's going to be a movie with a different guy.
When the Flash show is ending,
yes,
after, I don't know, a dozen seasons, when that show first aired is when the Flash movie was announced. That's how long it's been.
And they didn't think to cast that guy in it? I don't know, different contracts.
It was the
Grant Gustin, right?
Yeah, Grant Gustin, and now it's Ezra Miller, but he's
off
out.
The rails.
There's actually news this week that he could end up being, like with his crimes and that, he could end up getting like 26 years maximum.
And banned from Hawaii.
Yeah, probably banned from Hawaii.
Isn't that the worst? No one wants to be banned from
terrorizing
Hawaii.
the people of Hawaii for how long now?
I'm sure they can ban people. They're an island. It's easy.
It would be pretty easy to have an embargo against Ezra Miller because he's been terrorizing the people
Probably.
there. Anyway, so what's going to happen is as soon as Flash comes out, his movie, which they might rename to something else, they might call it Batman Flashpoint or just Flashpoint or...
Because why?
Because of the scandal with Ezra Miller.
But he's still in it.
Oh yeah, he's the star.
Well,
okay? But the thing is that he's an actor, right? You can't punish all the other people, the hundreds of other people that are working on it. The director, it's his movie. Andy Muschietti is directing it. He's the guy who did the 2 It movies for Warner Brothers.
Right.
Okay? So Warner Brothers like him, and reports coming out of, leaks and that kind of stuff, or people are saying that have seen it, that it's actually quite a good movie.
Right.
So you're not going to punish Andy Muschietti just because this guy went off and went crazy.
It's weird because The Flash, I think of Grant Gustin, and the fact that it's this other guy and he's like up on charges, it's just strange.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like things are going very good for that
Long
movie.
story short, the old regime at Warner Brothers didn't have it together at all.
Well, he doesn't have it together.
If the old regime had it together, there wouldn't have been that Flash show at all. Because they would have kept the Flash just for the movies, and they would have made some good movies, and they would have gotten them out on time.
I like the Flash show, some of the seasons we watched. We didn't watch all of them, I think, because we couldn't get them anymore.
Yeah, well...
We don't get much
in case
contact
anyone
here.
actually watches this, we're not in the U.S., we're in Canada. That's why we're Canada's movie and TV hosers.
I think I had to tape it on TV.
We don't get HBO Max here.
No.
Don't get me started on that.
I think I had to PVR it, did I not?
Yeah, you were PVRing it, but then the local channels just stopped carrying it.
Yeah, Showcase.
So we couldn't... We were watching it, and then we'd miss episodes, and it was just kind of a mess, so...
But I did
we just
kind of
gave up on it. We watched it for like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It
so
was fun.
it went for more seasons, but I remember it as a decent show.
Yeah.
But
Probably we watched and then it might have went downhill from there. I don't know. It's still going, so some people must like it.
well, yeah, I think they're on their last season. They're
Seems to be
finishing up.
forever since we watched it.
So anyway, so they've already started working on Flash 2, like a script. The other thing that they announced with the big news is that they're working on Man of Steel 2.
Okay.
Okay. So they're bringing back Henry Cavill,
Right.
who's in Man of Steel, and BVS, and Justice League. They're bringing him back for Man of Steel 2.
Okay.
And the other thing, oh yeah, we got breaking news, because
Breaking.
it's Sunday night here.
It's coming in on the cell phone.
No, the old
Cat is
old
trying
news.
to talk to us out there too.
Yeah, I know. She's being very rude and interrupting
She
our
wants
show.
to be part of. She wants to be a star. She's a diva.
So, Black Adam, I think it was projected at the high end to be at 60 million opening for weekend.
Yeah.
At the highest end. Anyway, so it opened at 67 million.
Okay.
So that's above projections.
It's like playing in numerous
Yeah.
theater rooms here. There's hardly any other movies to compete with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if it's the only new movie out.
Well, it's the first blockbuster since Thor: Love and Thunder, which came out in July. No, sorry, Bullet Train came out at the beginning of August.
Was that considered a blockbuster movie? I don't know.
Bullet Train?
Yeah.
It was a big, over-the-top blockbuster Hollywood movie.
Okay.
I don't remember how much it made. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was fun, but I don't think I'd watch it again because I know what happened, and it's just you just enjoy it when it's there. But I don't think I would watch it again.
That's not me. I just got my new 4K disc of it. I'm gonna be watching it soon, as soon as I get the time.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's an action movie, and you kind of now that I know what happened, I kind of don't need to see it again. But we're different in what we like.
I like rewatching stuff if it's good, because then I'll pick up more about it, right?
I like to forget it completely, then watch it. So it's going to take a couple of years.
I like to, if I'm watching something and it has enough good moments in it, I like to relive it. I want to go back and watch it again, and I want to pick up more things, and I want to, in a way, I also want to memorize it a little bit.
The characters were really strong in that. Was that Lemon guy? Was his partner's name?
I'm talking about the
The
black guy
Yeah,
was
yeah.
teamed up with
They were
Aaron
fun.
Taylor
They were all
Johnson.
great characters.
The black guy was Fastos in the Eternals. They're
They were
your
great
favorite
characters.
movie from
Oh,
last
don't
year.
get me started on the Eternals. He loves the Eternals movie, and I can't stand it. I think it was awful.
Yeah. Come at me on social media.
It was so bad that even our doctor talked to me about it and told me how bad it was.
Well, I don't trust his opinion on most things, including his medical
He
opinion.
only gives
Not
us like
very
a
smart.
5-minute appointment, basically. But half of that 5 minutes, he talked to me about how bad the Eternals movie was.
Guess it just didn't work for him.
Anyway.
See, the great thing about it is 100 people can sit down and watch the same movie, and you'll get 100 different opinions. Some people will like it, some people will not. That's the great thing. It's art, okay? It's subjective.
I don't know if I would call the Eternals art, but anyway.
Hey, if it doesn't work for
They
you,
were just like
that's
standing
fine.
there, like posing and so wooden, and they
Yeah.
were in a line like geese. Like it's just so.
Yeah, that's the
They were
superhero
just-
posing shot
Yeah, I
there,
know,
right?
But they didn't
You
have
gotta do
any
that for the cameras.
real. They weren't like. I know they're supposed to be not like people, but do you think they'd be maybe even more human
No,
after
that's-
living for that long? They were just the acting was too wooden.
Yeah, I don't know why they were so wooden. I'm guessing
That's
it's
what I
because they
don't
were
like.
alien space robots, but I don't
No,
know.
they just wasn't good.
Anyway, that's a tangent there. We don't need to talk about the Eternals. Okay,
Every
so
conversation of this is going to come to how bad the Eternals was.
that's it for the news then, and we even
That's
had
it for the
breaking
news.
news for Black Adam. So,
Okay.
do you want to go into the reviews? Do you want to do your review first, or do you want to hear my review of Black Adam first?
Well, you do your review. You can say what you want to say.
Okay,
I'll watch
so
it.
I saw Black Adam on Thursday night, preview night, and let me tell you something. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. I'm gonna take you next weekend. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Now that doesn't mean it's good, okay? It's got a lot of bad
Says
stuff
we're
in
going to
it.
have a lot of fun,
It does
but
have a lot of bad stuff. but it's really fun.
Like, is the theater putting on
Okay.
a party and passing drinks around? Is that why it's going to
I
be
wish
fun?
it was that fun. But what happens is there's lots of good action, there's lots of great characters, except for the kid, because the kid just ruins most of the movie. But there's some really bad dialogue. Hawkman was probably my favorite because he's just hilarious. He's so angry and pissed off at everyone the whole time. It's just like some guy who's like, I can't believe I gotta do this. And he's like going into work. He's so mad about everything. So everyone he deals with, he's just like, I don't got any patience or time for this nonsense. He's so pissed off in the movie. And there's a lot of good moments. There's actually quite a few good jokes. The action is pretty amazing. Seeing the Justice Society, although they pretty much just copied Fox's X-Men series. They're like in this giant mansion, which is Hawkman's. And this is in the trailer. The backyard just opens up and out comes the X-Men's Blackbird jet, although it's the Justice Society. I don't know, it's Hawkman's jet that he's got underneath his property there.
So it's not the same as the Justice League, it's the Justice Society?
Yeah, different groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing with DC. It's just like in Marvel, they have different groups of the Avengers. You got your core Avengers, you got your Young Avengers, you got your West Coast Avengers, you got your Great Lakes Avengers. But most of
They
them,
battle each other?
no, they're all busy all the time because the world's constantly being destroyed. So
Maybe by their fighting and smashing everything in the way.
probably, but
Anyway.
there's just a need for so many different Avengers groups, and I don't know. Doesn't make any
Because
sense
they
to
need
me.
to make more movies and try to make more money.
I guess.
Oh,
Just
well.
seems to me if you lived in the DC world, okay? And so the DC world is just like our world, except it's bigger because it has all the regular cities in it, but
Yeah.
also has these fake DC cities and countries.
They're scary. I wouldn't want
Okay.
to live in any of them.
Well, you might want to live in Metropolis. Metropolis is supposed to be amazing.
Had all the time.
Yeah, it's almost being threatened to be destroyed all the time.
Right, asteroids
Gotham City is like the
forever.
worst city
That's the
ever.
worst.
Okay, Coast City, where Aquaman is. I guess you don't want to be there. No, not Coast City. That's Green Lantern until they destroyed it.
I don't know this.
I don't know as much about DC
Well,
as I should.
It sounds ominous.
I
And
can't
there's always
remember
some
the.
weird
Can't remember the.
super dude hanging around that can probably hear what you're saying or X-ray your house or I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be very unnerving.
You want to live in a regular city that isn't part of the DC.
Yeah.
One of the fake DC worlds. You wouldn't want to live in Kandunk, a
They
country
probably-
in the Middle East.
They
It's their
probably
fake
wouldn't come
country.
here. We probably would be safe here.
Anyway, the Justice Society in the Black Adam movie, it's great. Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, he's pretty good too. There's some bad dialogue, there's some bad storytelling. Pierce Brosnan is pretty much stealing every scene he's in with his like thick Irish accent. It's great. Problem is they keep making him say the worst line ever. The villain at the end is kind of a joke. I don't even think he gets any lines.
You don't know who the villain is?
Oh, I know
The
who it
end?
is.
No,
It's-
if no one knows.
But
until
it's
the end?
forgettable, yeah.
Oh,
And everyone just forgets the
I
name
thought
because
Black Adam was the villain.
well, he kind of is, but
Okay.
this
kinda
is
what I
kind of
got
a
from
story of like he's a bad guy, but we're gonna help him to do good.
And where has he been all this time?
Well, that's why you gotta watch the movie.
Oh, so he has been somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, he has been somewhere.
He's
He
like
didn't just.
Captain America. He's a
He's
person
like
in the ice
5,000
fields or
years
something.
old.
Okay.
Okay, he's
they
from
dig him up.
ancient times.
So he's like a
The-
mummy or something.
He's from the ancient period, this lost civilization of Kandunk.
Okay.
So
That sounds hard to say.
it is. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. Okay. Overall, though, on the internet's rating system
Yes.
of best movie ever, worst movie ever,
Oh yeah.
I'll have to give it a best movie ever because I had a lot of fun with it. Even the bad parts, you're gonna laugh at them. You're like, oh
Okay.
my goodness, I can't believe they made him say that, or like this is ridiculous. Why is this kid in
I
this
think
movie?
I'm gonna like to complain about this movie. I think this is gonna be another add to my list.
And this is a bad thing for you?
These movies can be so ridiculous. And they spent so much money on it. Did they not realize how stupid idea some of this stuff was?
Well, you got Dwayne Johnson has wanted this
Well,
movie
he's
to be
great.
made for the last 12 years.
Well, I'm sure
it's
he's
been
great
12
at it.
years. So then they got the cameo that everyone except Christine here knows about.
Don't tell me.
And yeah, so I give it a best movie ever, even though it's really bad. Anyway, what would you want to review? TV show, movie you've been watching without me?
What have I watched without you? I've watched a few shows. Well, it wasn't what I watched this week. I watched the show The Resort, which we're now getting, but I think it was on Peacock, released in the summer, but we're now getting it here in Canada. And I actually saw, maybe it was 4 episodes, and then the next week, for some reason, it didn't come on. I thought that was the ending, and I think they should have left it there. Because it has a really interesting reveal, and at the very end, and I think they should have just stopped right there. Because it didn't end. They just skipped a week for some reason. It didn't come on. So it came on this week again, and now they're trying to explain all the intricacies of all this stuff. It's like a Shyamalan movie. Now they're explaining it all.
A good Shyamalan movie or a bad Shyamalan movie?
I like Shyamalan movies till the very last, and there's always something very disappointing. And now it's like becoming disappointing. So I think they should just watch the first 4 episodes. You'll be like, oh, isn't that interesting? And now they're trying to explain it all.
Yeah.
And I think they should just, Showcase was right to just end it after 4 episodes. They should have just not continued it. Because it was really great. There's a really great, interesting thing that happens at the end. And now they're getting into the explanation.
Do you want to spoil it?
Well,
it's not something I'm going to watch, so you can spoil it. Okay, spoilers,
well, there's
everyone.
a lot of stuff going on in it. It's about a couple. It's really good.
Yep.
It's about a couple, and they're like falling out of love. They've been together for a really long time. And there's something wrong in their relationship. They're at a resort. Okay. They're having a holiday, but yet they don't seem to be having much fun. And then they go and have a little field trip. She crashes on her little ATV they have on, and she finds this guy's phone from like 2007 or 2006. And they get all wrapped up in the phone. They find out that the guy has been missing since then. And then they start coming together more and trying to investigate what happened to him. And then it was at another resort, a resort that after this guy disappeared, there was a giant hurricane and the whole place was abandoned. And it's just sitting there still, like this giant resort abandoned. They left everything, right? And they sneak in there and they see a painting of their resort. And it's on this wall. I won't say any more details, but at the very end, they are in the painting. This is a resort that hasn't been opened since 2007 or something. They're in the painting. Dressed in the clothes that they have on when they found the phone.
Why are they in the painting?
Exactly. So they should have ended it right there. Now they're doing all this explanation and all this stuff.
Is it still going?
Yes, that's what I mean. They should have just ended it right there. They find the old hotel where the guy was, they lost the phone, and they're in the painting. I think they should have just left it right there.
So hold on, let me
move on.
Because I haven't seen this at all. So this is interesting to me. What I'd like to do is, so this couple,
yes,
there's a married couple and they're at this resort.
Yes.
Okay? So they're suddenly in a painting on the wall.
No, in a different resort, one that has been abandoned since this fellow went missing, the guy who she's found his phone.
They're standing there just looking at the painting and it's, why are we in this painting? Or are they trapped in the painting?
It's a weird painting that actually has the guy that disappeared and this girl that he's with has all these weird, it's really weird. It's in the abandoned resort, which is like it's like nothing has happened. It's just been left. Like liquor bottles, pianos, everything is all there.
Yeah.
Since this hurricane happened, which is also weird. Like, why is that? And they don't actually realize until the very end, and it's a picture of them finding the phone.
Okay.
That was painted in this abandoned hotel from 2007.
It sounds to me like it could be one of those old scary stories where they go through this thing and they're terrified and they end up trapped in the painting by some, dark magic or something.
They're not trapped in it. They just see that they're in the painting.
Yeah, so it's a puzzle box and it's just going to keep going on.
Well, I liked it to end right there because it was a very good ending.
Yeah. So you want them to be trapped in the painting,
No,
or
just
just
like
look at it and
the
what's going on
painting
here?
and how is this? They seem so involved in this fella that went missing and his phone and all, and of course they have flashbacks to what really happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's this very odd fellow that ran the resort,
Mm-hmm.
and his security guard, who actually the couple thinks the security guard probably did him in
Mm-hmm.
at first, but the security guard thinks that the guy that ran the resort got rid of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it should have ended there, because now it's going on and explaining more things. But I just like things that are just like a mystery like that.
Yeah. So
You
they're keeping it going.
Like a Twilight Zone. I just like, oh, and we're in the painting. I just like it to end like that. But anyway, I'll see how it goes. But I was kind of disappointed that there's another episode.
So it just keeps going, and you're like, nah, it should have ended.
And the guy that was supposed to be this really bad guy, the security guard, he's really like a really soft-spoken. He's a tailor. He sews.
Okay.
And he's like trying to investigate the murder himself. And he's like he's not the type that would murder anyone.
Okay.
He
So
just sounds scary.
final question. On the internet rating system of best show ever or worst show ever, which one do you give it?
Well, I say best show ever, but I just wish they would have ended it at that.
Yeah. Remember, on the rating, if it's, okay, when it comes to the internet rating system, if you're at 50-50, it can't be. If
No,
there's
I
one
like
little
it.
thing you
It's
like
really
more than
good.
the other, then it's best movie ever.
I like it. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Remember, there's no nuance on the internet, okay?
No.
It's like, this is the best thing ever, or this is the worst thing ever.
But it's kind of like a Twilight Zone type of little short they used to have when they saw this out the paint. I wish like they could have just ended it there.
Okay.
But instead, it's a whole series. Probably has 10 episodes or something.
Sure.
But it's still interesting. I'm still watching on. But it's basically about. It seems like this guy is out of time. He's like a time traveler.
Mm-hmm.
This guy that owned the resort, but maybe.
Do you want to move on to the next
Yes.
review?
Okay. Well, do we
Okay.
want to review what we watched together this
Yeah.
week?
So what have we watched together? She-Hulk is over, which I really enjoyed. It was great.
Yeah, we can talk about She-Hulk if you want, because we
let's
just finished watching it.
Save time. Overall, I thought it was a really good show. I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to spend too much time on that.
No,
Overall, did you enjoy it or not?
I enjoyed it. It didn't really get serious though. Like it didn't. The story that it told, it didn't really get into too much. Like it wasn't like Orphan Black.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, it's a
Which
sitcom.
Yeah,
That's all
but
it is.
I think it could have gotten a little bit more into some more interesting things. Instead, it was just wasn't that much that was revealed or came out
Yeah.
at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was why, I don't know. It could have been funnier if it was just going to be a comedy show about not that much.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. I would have just said more jokes because I thought it was great. I enjoyed the whole series there.
You liked it more than I did. I just was waiting for it to do something really interesting, and it did a little bit, but it didn't get into... I always like a story, right?
Was it too much fourth wall breaking for you?
No, I didn't mind that. I just think there could have been more that happened.
Okay.
And like episode, she just goes to a wedding. Like that wasn't...
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, but it could have been... If it was going to be based on that, it should have been more funny.
There's
I
some
guess.
rumors
I don't
going
know.
around
I liked it
about
enough.
one of the actresses from that show. There's another rumor. I didn't bring this up in the news, but I don't remember the actress's name. I guess I could look it up, but yeah. What, remember
did
the
she
character? Okay. Madison with two N's and a Y, but not where you
Oh,
think.
the drunk lady.
Yeah, the drunk bimbo. They might make a show with her. And think about this.
That would just be very irritating.
No, think
she was
about-
a very irritating
She was hilarious.
character.
Okay.
I found her irritating.
Think about this. You make a show with that actress playing Madison, and she's just bumbling her way through the MCU. So we see the MCU through her eyes, and so every episode she's trying to live her life, and she just bumps into more. She's hanging out with Wong again, or she's back talking to She-Hulk.
I found her irritating though. I wouldn't want a show about her.
I thought she was hilarious.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of people that act that way in real life.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to show her. I think she wasn't in enough.
Anyway, that was another rumor. Okay. She-Hulk, I give it a best show ever. I really enjoyed it.
I know, you really enjoyed it. I liked it.
Okay.
It was pleasant.
Okay. What else ended recently? Rings of Power?
Rings of Power.
That had a strong ending.
I like to get into that world again and see all that stuff. And, well, maybe we shouldn't say what happened because people haven't watched it. I don't want to spoil it for them.
It's been over a week.
No. But basically, yeah.
They finally revealed some of the characters after the whole season.
Some of it was kind of slow. But I didn't suspect. One of my guesses was right. The Elder was wrong as to who these mystery characters were.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I think probably yours was too. Probably. Yeah.
I guessed one, and I had no idea about the other one.
Yeah.
They didn't explain who those three weirdos were either.
Yeah, we keep on calling them the three weirdos. There's these very odd characters in there. We don't know where they come from, so we just call them the three weirdos. We both call them that independently.
They have names, but that's what I've been calling them.
But Gregory didn't like the What are they called?
The Harfoots?
Harfoots.
And
he couldn't stand the Harfoots. But the problem with the Harfoots was it was the same thing every episode. It didn't really change.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. They just kept hanging out with this guy who fell from the sky.
Nothing. They didn't do very much. Really, that could have been all shrunk down into one episode of their interactions, and they could have done more with them. But no, I thought it was just nice to see that world, see it come to life. I always like that kind of stuff, even though it's a world I don't really know that much about this time. And yeah, I think it was really neat. I want to see more. Like I'm eating it up. You know what I mean? Okay. But I think it costs a lot of money. So.
Oh yeah, that is the most expensive movie ever made. All the money that they spent on it.
Like I want 20 episodes, right?
It shows in the production values. Like that, you see where all the money goes.
I really enjoyed
the costumes
just
were
looking
amazing.
at it. Even but stuff did happen. It was really interesting. Some parts were a little bit slow, especially Gregory thought it was slow. But the first 3 episodes, not much happened.
My opinion was, it did start out slow. Some episodes were better. I don't know whether it was 3 or 4. Finally, it started to pick up.
Really?
Because the first episode was, they had 4 different plot lines going on, and Galadriel is, she's getting on a boat, and then she's jumping off the boat.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, she's on the water. Meanwhile, we're following these guys around the Southlands.
And we're like, where's the Southlands?
Well, the whole world of Middle-earth is different.
I was confused about all that. But anyway, it is explained at the end.
Okay, the map that you get of Middle-earth from the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings, it's a different map because the world changed between them.
Yes, it's different. And it's hard to know exactly what the timing is.
There's different kingdoms.
Do they say
they still have elf kingdoms there.
Right, do they say how many years this is supposed to be? I was trying to get a sense of it. Is this supposed to be thousands of years?
Well, it's in the Second Age, okay? And The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings is in the Third Age.
Right.
And then when Lord of the Rings ends, then it goes into the Fourth Age. Because the elves and everything are leaving, so...
Right.
Part of the lore... I'm not fully versed on the lore. I have read Tolkien books. The Silmarillion.
Right.
I've read it a few times. It's been a long time since I read it, but that is one of my favorite books. Maybe I'll read it again and review it. But there's so much information in it.
Because
it's not a linear story.
No.
It's like the creation of the world and the gods, and it's the whole story of the elves and how the men came into being and the dwarves came into being.
Right.
And then there's tons of appendices.
He has a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there are many people that are very versed in the lore, but that is not me.
But these people read all that stuff, wrote this, came up with a show about it, which hats off to them. I thought it was really nice, and I'm looking forward to more. I want more.
I'm looking forward to more. I just found the pacing was quite slow for a lot of it, but it was beautiful.
That's the thing. Even if it was slow paced, I was like really excited to see it and absorb it all in.
I do like the character. So Galadriel is an interesting character.
she's not as scary as she was in the other series. And like she
No,
didn't
but
seem
you
as
can see
scary.
her. You can see her becoming that Galadriel,
she
the
was
Kate
kinda
Blanchett
scary.
one. There's also, well, I didn't like the Harfoots at all.
I know you didn't
Oh,
like the
jeez.
Harfoots.
I'm not the only one. Okay. Every
I
time
wish
they
they
came
would
on
have
screen, I
done more
just
with
nodded
them.
off.
I liked them enough, but there was more needed. Because, yes,
Okay.
they were always doing the same thing. They were just walking around
Yeah.
with their feet.
I did enjoy the story with Arondir and Browin and Theo. It was a bit slow, because they all were slow. I enjoyed going to Numenor. Looked beautiful.
It looked beautiful.
And the vision that she had, the Queen Regent.
It's a bit hard to determine her character. She does something. I can never tell what she's going to do. I don't quite understand her character, I don't think. At this point, anyway.
Her vision, though, of the fall of Numenor, that looked beautiful.
Yeah, the whole thing was just beautiful, really. Even if you don't know anything about it, just watch it because it's really neat.
What was that thing
see.
she was using again? The Plantia, one of
Yeah.
the lost seeing stones.
The big
Some people really like the stuff with the dwarves, with Durin and...
I enjoyed the dwarf stuff.
What's his name?
Elrond.
Elrond. Lord Elrond.
I was going to say, they're all named Durin.
Well, the
and
king
his wife,
and his
what's his wife's name?
Princess Disa.
Disa, yes.
Okay.
The dwarves are really
People
nice.
really like that. I thought the whole, what was it, Khazad-dûm city?
Yes.
That looked amazing. And with the lights and reflecting, they were growing stuff down there. That looked amazing.
You know that's all going to come to Rune as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I thought that was really neat
They
to
even
see it.
shown the Balrog.
They did show him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I found that story a little bit boring.
Well,
Maybe
I
it was
like
just
that.
the slow
I like
pace.
the dwarf stuff.
Okay. So there's the Harfoots. Yeah, I think
Because
that's
they
all
come
four.
from a mining town.
That's all four storylines.
Dwarves. I identify with them.
Overall, I really enjoyed season 1 of it. It's going to be a couple of years probably before we get season 2. So some people are really annoyed by that.
I'll be just so excited when that comes out again. Because I just love watching it.
I'll just rewatch it.
I'll really listen to the books again. I have no time to read like a normal person. I have to listen to audiobooks. I did download The Hobbit, but it was very boring the way it was read. But I think I'll get a different version.
Cool.
I have read all the books before, but it's been a long time.
I don't have as much time for reading as I wish I did. I will rewatch The Rings of Power season 1, even if it takes a couple years to get season 2.
I think, I'm going to read.
Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, really enjoyed that series, and you really enjoyed it too. So, best streaming series ever?
Well, I don't know, best ever, but I really enjoy it. I recommend it.
Once again, it's the internet rating system.
Oh, well, do we
best series ever? Worst series ever?
Well, best then. It's very nice. Even if you don't know anything about it, it's just nice to look at. Put it that way.
What else have we been watching together? So we watched...
The Watcher.
The Watcher. Oh my goodness.
He doesn't like that much.
Oh, I like the first episode. The problem is that it became diminishing returns. Each episode afterwards got worse and worse and worse. It was just declining in quality. And as it went on, all these mysteries, they just kept going on. They give you little bits of information, but they don't really tell you what's going on.
Yeah, but that's that type of show.
To me, this is just Lost. It's just more puzzle boxes on top of puzzle boxes on top of puzzle boxes. And I kept saying that in my reviews that I post on Twitter. I'm like, who produces J.J. Abrams? Because it's just nothing but puzzle boxes. I liked it.
I wanted to watch them. He said, no, we have to wait till the next night to watch the next one. I wanted to watch it. I liked it because it's just interesting and it makes you think what's going on here. And at the end, I liked the ending because it was still up in the... I like these up in the air endings.
That doesn't bother me.
I like that.
I think maybe
makes you think about
my biggest problem with this story is it was too drawn out.
Should have been 3 episodes, maybe. You would have liked it then.
I say this could have been a 2-hour movie, maybe 2.5 hours, and you get rid of some of the extra plot stuff, and you just condense it down, and then it can be all these mysteries, and then they have to get out.
The whole thing about it is that they were always... The problem is there's many, many answers to the question. Mm-hmm. And every episode, there's more and more questions with more and more answers that you don't know which belongs to what. So that's what it was all about. It was to keep on throwing out more possibilities to make you try to guess who it was.
but that gets annoying after a while, because then it's just more mysteries,
That's
more mysteries, but
interesting.
they don't answer anything.
Well, I like that. I like that it was different, and it kept me wanting to watch it, to find out what was happening. And I sort of know what was happening, but I want to know what's going to happen next, or, yeah.
It's over.
Well, I know it's over, but there was one question.
Unless they do another season with another family moves into this demonic house.
No, yeah, there's just a question of the last meeting that happened, the meeting of the group, and that was what I was thinking about, what would happen there. But anyway, I liked it, he didn't like it.
The only thing I was thinking of during that meeting and that whole series was, when is this going to be over with? Because it started out so strong. I mean, it's got this family.
It's hard to hold that kind of thing. It's hard to keep the story going and write,
Exactly. You don't need to have mystery going on for almost 7 hours. That's not that's not what I want to see.
I guess that's the same thing with this resort show. I liked it if it would have ended up to the... We'll see. Maybe it'll... But I almost don't want it explained. I want to say, oh, they're in the painting. And I'm
okay with that. I just
leave it at that.
Didn't need, 6 and a half hours of the watcher.
You get impatient. I just like to absorb the content.
So you say it was best series ever?
Not best series ever, no, but I liked it.
I give it a worst series ever.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, I don't like that rating.
If anyone watches this, don't bother watching The Watcher on Netflix, or if you do, just watch the first episode, because every other episode just gets worse and worse.
It was fun.
Yeah. Not for me. Is there anything else we watched that we want to review together? We've been watching House of the Dragon. We can talk about that
House of the Dragon. Am I going to be able to stay up to watch it tonight?
So the finale is on tonight, actually. It's going to start in 2 hours. Yeah. Finale for this season. So I'm watching that. This show...
Maybe I'll have a nap beforehand.
Sure. This show has been delivering. Like, the pace is breakneck. Okay? You have to keep up.
You like it better than I like it.
Okay? The characters are great. They're all really dumb. They're so dumb.
Well,
if they just
we know the future, so...
It doesn't matter, but if they just stop fighting with each other, they don't even realize they're tearing their own house down, and everyone's going to be dead.
They realize it.
If they just were... No.
Well, the main character realizes it. I think.
Yeah, but
she can't do anything about it. Her father's done this and put this in motion.
Her father, everyone feels bad for Paddy there, Viserys, because he's the only mature one doing what needs to be done. Sometimes his daughter Rhaenyra is trying to make up with Alicent.
She's been put into this position. He has set the stage for this, and he was very naive.
I think he just expected people to do the right thing and be better than they actually are. But every week you see this guy he's like, oh man, I gotta deal with this crap now. Why can't you guys just get along and stop causing problems? That was the whole series. And now he's dead, so now they're just continuing to act like children.
He's the one that knows about the prophecy or whatever, and
so does Rhaenyra.
But all his words were on deaf ears at the end. So that information is lost. Because obviously they did lose that information. Mm-hmm. In the future, that information got lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for Game of Thrones.
Yes. So. Now, maybe things would have been a little different. Maybe not. If they would have had the prophecy, I don't know.
That's one of the great things about this show. It ties into the other show, which was really popular. I still maintain I really enjoyed that show, even though the last season wasn't very good. They rushed it.
Well, the other show is so much more complex, with so many different characters in so many different places. This is a much simpler, watered down type show.
Now, the reason why this is good as a prequel is normally if you get prequels and you know what happens to the characters later on from the older movies, there's no stakes, right? But there's stakes for this because it's so far removed. It's over, I think they say it's 167 or 68 years beforehand. Like so you don't know what all these characters could die at any time.
And they have all the same names. So that's also confusing. Because they only have 6 names they reuse over and over again. So you can't tell what...
All the names are different. It's Viserys, Rhaenyra.
So many...
Rhaenyres.
Aegons. I don't know. There's a lot of the same names.
There's a lot of names you gotta remember.
Oh, yeah.
Aegon is the terrible kid. Alicent.
There's lots of similar names. They don't like to make new names up. Anyway, it's interesting, but I find it's much more watered down than Game of Thrones was. Game of Thrones has so many complex, separate things going on that were all really, in the end, that was the whole thing about it. They all came together in the end.
Yeah, it was a whole world, right?
Yeah.
This one is very much about House Targaryen.
It's just one simple
It's about
part
one
of it.
family. And
But
it's
it's
not
very
supposed to
interesting.
it's not supposed to go for 7 seasons.
No, it is interesting.
I think it's only supposed to go for 2 seasons.
Well,
So,
maybe they'll
things are
start
gonna
in a
move
different
really
part
fast,
of the world.
right?
Well, the just before the series, all that stuff what happened with the Mad King and stuff. Maybe we'll get a series about that and Baratheon and all that kind of stuff. We sort of know some of it.
I know
though,
they're
'cause-
already talking about making that Jon Snow series, which is a sequel series featuring Jon Snow.
He's just gonna sit up in the north and smoke a pipe. Is that the series?
He's gonna find more White Walkers and, do what he's gotta do and...
That doesn't sound very interesting.
No. Maybe he gets released from his watch again. Maybe he dies and gets brought back to life again. Spoiler for something that's like 10 years old.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very interesting.
Okay. So, it hasn't premiered yet, the finale.
No.
Okay, question for you right
Okay.
now. Because neither of us have seen it because it hasn't premiered yet.
Right.
The sea snake. Do you think he's still alive? Because we haven't seen him for a bit.
Oh.
He's the black guy who's got those amazing white dreads.
Sea snake. Well, I know who he is.
Okay,
I think he's gone because he's very good with boats, and if he was anywhere he could get, he would already have gotten there to say, I'm still alive. And he really wants power, so he wouldn't hide out in the ocean. He's not a kind of guy that would hide out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's either trapped somewhere or he's dead. Or he's got amnesia and he doesn't know who he is.
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think we're going to see him in this finale? He's going to come back,
No.
or do you think he's dead?
No, if anybody, I would think his son might be found. They all do have really interesting hair. I mean, they do
Maybe.
all stick out. That's why they're always
We
having to wear
didn't
hoods.
see him, Rhaenyra's husband, actually die.
He didn't
so
die.
We don't know.
No, he didn't die. That was the whole deal. He went off to live his life, but someone might find him. But I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it.
I think the sea snake is going to show up, reunite with his wife, the queen that never was.
Yeah, but she was just in the last episode, and she showed her where her loyalties lie. She didn't need her son to appear and that he's not dead. She didn't need any of that. She showed where her loyalties lie. She's gone right to Rhaenyra.
To tell her what's going on,
Yeah,
that
so
they're
I don't
planning
think
a
we
coup,
need
that
her husband or the son.
they are in the
story.
middle of conducting a coup.
I don't think we need them.
She should have killed them, though, with her dragon.
Well,
She's
we
gonna
just
regret
hate
that decision.
Alicent, so we want her to get fried. We hate Alicent and her idiot son.
Great actress, though. Olivia
Yeah,
Cook.
I can't stand her. Yeah.
You don't like her?
No, I mean, I don't like her character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she's a great actress.
Well, I wish she would have
She
gotten
was in
fried.
Ready Player One.
Or maybe the dragon could have drooled on her. That would have been good.
It already roared at her
I
and
know,
spit
but
on
it
her
could have,
with...
like, really drooled on her. Anyway, yeah, she's irritating. And her irritating father, who's really a
What a
meddlesome person.
douchebag kids.
And then,
Oh, man.
yeah.
I'm glad that one kid... Can't remember his name.
Well,
no,
he's...
it's not Aegon, it's Aemond.
Oh, I know.
Aemond.
Their names all sound the
He,
same.
at least he got what was coming to him. He lost his eye there.
Well, he at
Being
least
a
seems to
dick.
have some brains. He's a bit... he seems to be like his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He seems to be more like Daemon.
Neither of them should rule. And
No.
neither should Alicent.
Well, should any of them?
I don't know. A lot of people seem to like Otto, her father.
No.
I don't like him at all.
He's like the worst.
He's pretty sleazy.
He like is even against his daughter. He put her into that position. That's not a good father. Anyway, and yeah, and that guy with the bad foot. He's one of those low lives that they always have hanging around.
Yeah, he's the new Littlefinger.
Yeah, he like gets all the
And he's got a
information.
foot
These
fetish.
little worms, or whatever he calls them.
I know
What do they
why.
call those people that spy for them? Forget what they called them. But he's got that network.
Mm-hmm.
His own network. The Hand might have his own network, but he seems
I think
to
he
have his
wants
own.
to be Hand.
Yeah.
Okay, but
well, there you go. That might
he's
happen.
effective at getting things done, but he is not to be trusted.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, really, all of the characters.
Really weird.
They're not that likable.
No, you got
No.
problems with all of them. It's like Rhaenyra's the main character, but she's in love with her uncle.
Yeah,
And
in the other series, there were some more likable characters.
And they're having kids together.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. Lots of incest in this
Well,
show.
they're keeping. That's how they kept the bloodlines strong with the two houses there. That's why they look like that.
Is that why they all went crazy?
Well, that is part of it. You can see that the daughter is crazy.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this show yet, and you got kids, there's a lot of incest in this show. So
yeah, but that
kids, go ahead and ask your parents what that means.
No, kids shouldn't be watching this. No. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit. That's their whole plan, but that of course leads to being cuckoos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at their eventual great grandchildren, cuckoos.
Yeah, they're as nuts as
exactly
as them,
and that's what it's all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overall, great show, or do you not like it?
Oh no, I like it. I just don't think it's not like the other series. The other series was so much more complex.
Mm-hmm.
And, so interesting. You didn't know what was happening next. This is more, it's interesting though. It's a nice insight. Okay. But I'd like to see some more of the families and what happened with the other families and some more stories. Okay. But of course it costs money.
Yeah. Well, they got all the money.
Anyway, I like the content.
I keep an eye on the time here. We should wrap it up.
Okay.
So, best series ever for Game of Thrones?
I don't like this rating system. Yes, it's good. There we go. The scene says it's good.
Well, I don't give numerical values.
But it's good.
Okay?
I would definitely watch it if you liked Game of Thrones. If you don't like that type of thing, this is not for you. It's not that family friendly. Put it that way.
Okay, so we'll wrap up the show then, because we did our reviews.
Yes.
So just really quick answer here. Going forward for this next week, I'm going to try and watch some of my new 4K discs. I got Bullet Train. I got the Batman that you gave me. Thank you.
Yes.
I might watch that. I'm continuing to watch Batman the Animated Series because I got the Blu-ray collection that you got me. Thank you very much. It's been months I've been trying to get through it, and I'm almost done the final season. Then there's like animated movies afterwards I gotta watch.
Well, I'm always
watching over 100 episodes.
Things. I'll start taking notes on what I watch because I do watch a lot.
I'm going to take Christine to go see Black Adam next weekend.
Yes.
And on Thursday, I'm going to see another movie. I might be going to see Smile. Or it's another horror movie.
I don't like
which I'm not interested in them, but
they scare me.
I go try and see as much as I can. So what are you watching this coming week?
Well, what I'm listening to, I've heard of it for a long time. They keep on advertising it. I'm listening to Oracle on Audible because I like listening to the audiobooks, but this is like a particular, I don't know, they keep on advertising this particular series, but it's good, it's scary. Mm-hmm. It's like a ghosty, thrillery kind of, it seems interesting so far. I'm listening to it. And watching on TV, I'll continue to watch The Resort. We'll see how they explain it all.
Even though you're not like that keeps going.
Well, it is still interesting. I'm always open to ideas. I don't know. I'll have to write down all the things that I watch. There's a new show that's going to start soon, but it hasn't started yet. Have to wait on Showcase. It looks interesting. Another show I can talk about next week. I finished watching The Cuckoos.
What's that on?
Also on Showcase, because it's all content from other countries that we don't get.
You love watching Showcase.
Well, it has all these shows on it. Like, there's the American shows from Peacock. I don't know where The Cuckoos comes from, but it's like it probably was released in England already. But the Midwich Cuckoos, I watched that.
Okay, so we'll talk about that next show then.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's wrap it up then. Thank you for joining us for our first episode of Canada's Movie and TV Hosers. I'm Gregory Barrett, and this is my co-host, Christine. If you want to reach us, I'm going to be setting up a new email and probably a new Twitter account, which I will post in the feed below. But you can follow me. I'm at St. John's Critic. You'll see probably an old photo of me there. And yeah, thank you very much. So take care, everyone.